welcome to Eats and Travels. Come on in. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I'm just gonna set it up for us. Happy Thursday. All right, happy Thursday. Welcome to Eats and Travels. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome in. Welcome to Eats and Travels. This is where we talk about travels, we talk about food, we talk about life, we talk about entertainment. So make sure you come in and let us know where you're checking in from tonight. Let us know where you are checking in from. Let us know where you are checking in from. So tonight we're talking about just a couple of things. Tonight's topic is getting started with traveling, how to get started with traveling, and then the question of the night: Do you travel with family? All right, so that's the poll question. Do you travel with family? And so again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Eats and Travels. Welcome to Eats and Travel. All right, so the question of the night. Well, first of all, let's get started. Let us know where you're checking in from tonight. Let us know where you are checking in from. I'm checking in from Houston. Let us know in the chat where you're checking in from tonight. Let us know where you're checking in from. I'm checking in from Houston. As you come in, make sure you give us some thumbs up. The goal for tonight is to get to 5 new subscribers. The goal for tonight is to get to 5 new subscribers. You know that we won't be on here for a long time, but a good time. And just checking in to see how you are doing. You'll be watching a replay of this video. You'll be watching a replay of this video, so make sure you watch the video all the way through. Let us know how you're doing tonight. And the topics that we're gonna get started with tonight is basically how do you get started with traveling? I'll give you some just a little snippet of how we got started with traveling and some tips. And again, I'll be sharing things on how I got started with traveling. And the question of the night is, do you travel with family? I'll start that question off. I do not really travel a lot with family. Um, I know some families, everybody has their own dynamics. I mainly travel with, I say mainly three groups. Mainly three groups is either me and Damon. Me and my mom, I've learned early on in the game that I can't travel a lot of, travel. My mom is she's a lot. So I normally just book when we travel, it's just probably me and her. And then I travel with my best friend. And then those are main three people I travel with. I don't really travel a lot. I've tried to travel with family it didn't just work out that well. So I learned to just stay in my lane. And, if I want to go, I'll go, but I've learned to it's too stressful. And I'm the type of travel, like, I like to have things organized. I like to make sure I'm at the airport at least 2 hours ahead of time, especially if I'm going international. I like to be at the airport early. Some people, when you travel when they, especially if you have kids, they like to get to the airport right when the flight is getting ready to board. Then you got, like, hotels and, different people's budgets. So I've just learned to travel with who I know, and I don't I don't travel a lot with family members. Now I have did family trips with, my niece and nephews that are very young, but I've learned to say, okay, I probably give y'all one trip a year, but I'm not gonna be giving y'all no, every time y'all say y'all want to go somewhere, I'm gonna be the first one to kind of organize it. And another thing, like traveling with family, it could be very stressful. And as far as making sure everybody pays their money on time, and then you got to make sure that, if you're the one that is, booking the hotel, that people get to your money, get the money on time. Then you got to get a rental car. Then you got to do all this extra stuff, where if it's just two of you guys, and you not, you guys know, your what where you like to eat. Some people, like, they, you don't know what their budget is, and you're like, oh, what you want to eat, and they just want to eat McDonald's or Burger King. I'm like, no. What do you mean? I want to go out, and I want to eat what the locals eat. I don't want to eat what I'm eating at home. So the question of the night is, do you travel with family? And just some travel tips. First thing is, get your passport. Get your passport. I believe, and I believe I may said it in earlier videos, earlier lives, when we first started really going live. Get your passport. And let me know in the chat, do you want, I'm gonna be doing more travel videos. So the first thing that I have on here to get started with traveling is to get your passport. That's probably one of the best investments that you can invest in, is a passport. And it's not that really that getting your passport, it's a lot. But if you take it in small chunks, and you can go to your local library, to they have, I think, out here in Houston, at the library that we went to get our passport, it was like on a Wednesday. And they put, we had everything we need, like our social security card, extra IDs. We had already printed off the application and everything. We went to Walgreens and got our passport picture taken. So I would say the first thing, and the first tip that I would give you as far as traveling goes, is to get your passport. The second tip that I would give to you to get started with traveling is, start small. Start small. Maybe do a road trip. Again, welcome in. Welcome in. Make sure you let us know where you're checking in from. And we're just chatting it up tonight. And we're just talking about getting started with traveling. I'm just giving you a few tips on how to get started with traveling, and how I got started with traveling. And the question of the night is, do you travel with family? And again, make sure you give us some thumbs up in the chat. Make sure you just watch, and let us know what you think. But the first tip is to get your passport. The second tip is to start small. Maybe a road trip. maybe maybe a road trip, maybe some do something like a staycation in your local in your area. um, I would say tip three is research, 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 research. Research where you want to go. I know as far as me and Damon, we got started with traveling by we did cruises. We started off big. I think the first time I did like a 7 day cruise with my sister, and I was like, wow, this is nice, nice. And then I was like, okay, next time, me and Damon went together and we did like a 7 day cruise. And then after that, we did like 5 day cruises, and we just kind of were just exploring, which islands that we like, which islands we didn't like. And so that's how we got started. So research, research, research. Research where you want to go. I would say so. Tip one, as far as getting started with traveling, is get your passport. That is the best investment is your passport. Passport is the first thing, the first tip I would give anybody that wants to get started with traveling, especially if you want to go internationally, is to get your passport. Number two's tip is make sure you do your research. Research where you want to go. And as far when I say research, I mean making sure that you look at what is the best time to travel. Right now, going into April. We're at the end of March, going into April. If you're looking to book your travel maybe for the end of the year, this is probably the best time to do that. And I will give you a little tip. I normally look at the apps. I have Hopper on my phone as one of the apps. And if you don't know what Hopper is, I'll do probably a video on Hopper. Hopper tracks flights for you, and they'll send you alerts when either the flight is going up, or the flight prices are going up, or when the flight prices are going down, so you can kind of get idea when the best time to buy your flight tickets. Look at some of the where you want the airlines that you want to go. Make sure you sign up for their email alerts. I know Southwest has they'll send out every now and then, they'll send out an email alert telling you that they have $49 flights. I remember one time, me and my mom bought a Southwest ticket to Chicago in September, and I was like, and it was $49, $49 going, and $49 going leaving Houston, going to Chicago, and $49 coming back from Chicago to Houston. But I didn't realize that we bought it in September, and the flight wasn't until January. And if you know anything about Chicago, in January and February, it's freaking cold. So that was an experience to say, okay, nah, sis, I don't like cold weather, so we gonna stick with the tropical in the Caribbean. But it was an experience that I will never forget, going to Chicago when it was cold, navigating snow, and with my mom. If you know my mom, she's very high strung. So it was a trip trying to navigate in Chicago in the cold. But that was because Southwest had a good sale, $49. But it was in freaking February, and we got the tickets in September. Another thing too, a lot of times you gotta be. I have a tip on here. Always stay flexible. Stay flexible with your travels. A lot of times, I learned that we would, we so you have to learn, your spouse or your whoever you're traveling with. You guys got to have, a conversation, what you like, what you don't like, and just be flexible. I know that when we first got started traveling, we would fly from Houston, stay a night in Miami because we like the beach. So you have to learn your partner, learn your significant other, what they don't like, what they do like. And so I remember we would fly, and everybody, some people would think I'm crazy for doing this, but we would fly from Houston, stay a day in like Miami or Florida, and then get up the next morning and then fly to. We did this in the Grand Caymans. I think we also did this in Turks and Caicos because sometimes flying from Florida to the like the Caribbean is much cheaper. So I remember one time we flew from I think it was the Caymans. We flew from Houston, stayed a night in Miami, or maybe a day in Miami, and then the next morning we got up and flew to the Cayman Islands because it was cheaper to fly from Florida to the Caymans, and then we did the same thing coming back. We flew back from the Caymans to Florida because it was much cheaper to get a round trip out of Florida than having to fly from Houston to the Caymans because it's not a direct flight, so you're automatically gonna stay over in Florida. So again, it depends on you and what you're looking for. But you got to be flexible. Always stay flexible. Make sure that you have I should have said this one at the top of it, but make sure you have a budget. So, a budget. So, make sure you have a budget. I said, as in the chat, make sure that you have your passport. Make sure you have a budget and decide, just, try it all. Don't limit yourself in your travels. Try a cruise. Maybe I wouldn't tell you to do a 7 day cruise, but maybe do a 3 day cruise or a 4 day cruise and just get a feel for it. Try different cruise lines. What they offer at Carnival is very different from what they offer on the Royal Caribbean. Try maybe a road trip. Again, when I say maybe you want to go, like for me, so I'm in the Houston area. A road trip to me may be going to Galveston. We do that, pretty often because we love the beach, we love the water. So we would get up. We just did one. I posted one on this channel earlier in the week. So if you haven't seen that video, go and watch that video of our road trip to Galveston. You can start small. You can start going to local things in your area. There are a lot of free things in your area. I know in Houston, we have a lot of museums, and one of the museums that is free is the African American Museum. So start local in your area, and decide, figure out what you like. Maybe, like I said, you may like a cruise, you may not like a cruise, but at least you said you tried it. And don't go off of what somebody else says, because a lot of times when you're talking about traveling, people, people, because they want to do it, they will place their fears on you. They'll say, oh, well, you don't need your passport, you don't need this, oh, don't go on a cruise. No, go try it. Try a road trip. Try a staycation. Just like Nike said, just get out there and do it. Just do it. Do your research, set a budget, and if you are going out like international trips, eat, drink like the locals. Stay away from the touristy places, because a lot of time the touristy places, I can tell you, they have horrible, horrible, horrible food. So eat and drink like a local. It's like we went, I said it in last week in the live, or maybe this week in the live. We went to Turks and Caicos last year, and it was amazing. And this has been a trial and era finding, what hotel, what is a good hotel, what is not a good hotel. And I think we're improving on our hotel situations. But in Turks and Caicos, we stayed at, it was not a great hotel, but it was mainly where the locals were. And I remember going passing, I seen this place, and I was like, man, what is that? Why are these people outside in this long line? And so I was like, okay, we're gonna go try, and we're gonna see what, what the hype was. And come to find out, at this one spot that the locals go to, it was almost like our KFC or our fried chicken, and they served nothing but fried chicken, nothing but fried chicken. I don't think they served anything else. And I was like, okay, I want to go there because I've seen this long line, and it turned out to be pretty good. I think it was like maybe an old KFC that they had, that they turned it into like a, now it's like a mom and pops or a local place. But it was a line, and we waited probably like 10 or 15 minutes, and I didn't even know what to order. When I got up to the window, I was like, give me whatever the locals give me whatever the locals have, and give me that. And so that's how, yeah, I would say when you're traveling, do what the locals do. Ask lots of questions. Ask when you get there, where do you eat? What do you recommend? Don't give me the places where, don't take me to McDonald's. Don't take me to KFC. I remember, and me and the mom was talking about it the other day. We were on a cruise, and we were on the bus, and these two, I think that they may have been Americans, and they used to live in Jamaica or the Bahamas. They were arguing on the bus about freaking KFC. Who has the best KFC in the island? I'm like, what? Y'all are arguing about KFC? I want to eat where the locals take me, where the Bahamians eat. Don't tell me about no KFC. KFC is not that. I mean they were literally arguing on the bus about who had the best KFC. I was like, what? Yeah, it was real out there. It was real. And yeah, we was like, who cares about KFC? Y'all are arguing about KFC. And they demanded that the bus driver take us to a KFC in the Bahamas. I was like, what? I think it was like a Bahamian that was on the cruise, and a Jamaican on the cruise. And then those two ladies were arguing back and forth about who has the best KFC, Jamaica or the Bahamas. I don't know. But please make sure you watch the video all the way through. Give us some thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. The goal for tonight is 5 new subscribers. So please, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And we're just going to continue to keep inspiring you, uplifting you, giving you some travel tips, the do's and the don'ts. The best time, the other travel tip is look at travel dates. And that goes back to being flexible. Again, a lot of times you may want to travel in the off season, like this coming up, the summertime. It's going to be crazy out there. I also talked about it a couple weeks ago. I won't travel to like the Caribbean during the summertime. You won't catch me in Aruba in the summertime. You won't catch me going to Florida in the summertime. Big one, it's hot, and then it's the hurricane season. And a lot of times that's when these flights and hotels are very expensive. I also told you guys in a previous live video, become a travel agent. Become a travel agent. And when you talk about travel agent, you don't necessarily have to book travel for other people. You can be a travel agent for yourself and use those perks. I know now I'm really investing in booking nice hotels that have resorts, and they have like we like me and Damon. We found our groove with traveling, and we like breakfast. We like getting up early in the morning, getting our day started, and we like to go eat breakfast. So now we try to find hotels that offer a free breakfast, or not just a free breakfast, but a healthy, hearty breakfast. So you have to find out what works for you, and and also being flexible, knowing the type of season that you're going to be going into when you're traveling. Don't you don't always have to start big. You can start small. It could be a cruise, it could be a road trip, it could be a staycation, but get out there and start traveling. And when you're traveling, eat, drink, and do what the locals do. Don't always try to go to where the touristy people are. Do what the locals do and research. Download some of these apps. I know Hopper, Hopper. They can track flights for you. They usually do like maybe a year out, and you can save it. And as soon as the flight either goes up or goes down, it'll give you an alert. Look at research when it's the best time to book, buy flights. Make sure that you clear out your browsing history, because a lot of times when you're looking at flights like on Google Flights or things like that, it kind of like tracks you, and it doesn't give you the best rate. I like I said in the beginning, um, decide what kind of traveler you are. Maybe you like road trips, road trips versus flights, but just don't stay where you are. Get out and explore the world. Again, I love you guys. Again, we have videos up. We have a lot of new things out here we have some new shorts up, we have some new hauls. Let us know what you like. We like talking about travels, we like talking about food, we just talk about just enjoying life. So again, make sure that you like this video. Let us know, comment through, watch the video all the way through, subscribe, comment, share us out, repost. And again, the question of the night was, do you travel with family members? Again, find your groove. I know that I can't travel with certain family members because one, they you like the one that maybe have to foot the bill or put it on your credit card, and they don't want to give your money back. So I just found my groove to say, okay, these I have three sets of people I travel with, and that's it. Other than that, nope. Because yeah. And then the other question, or the other tips that I gave is get your passport, be flexible, research, eat, drink what the locals decide, maybe start out for the cruise, road trip, budget, look at travel days, maybe you want to go in the off season. And then, yeah, again, I love you guys. Again, let us know what you think. Go ahead and watch. We have some shorts, we have some new videos up. Until next time, peace, blessings, eat good food, travel, love on yourself. Until next time, you know that we haven't forgotten about you. We have some new videos up, we have some new shorts up, we have some new posts. So let us know in the chat what you want us to talk about in relationship travel, food, trends. What do you want us to try? What topics you want to talk about? Let's chat it up in the comments.